right, I think the video is actually going. So I got Louis and Gino, and I got a little bit of Ralph over there. How do I not have? Yeah, Eric is completely out, but we'll get there. Grab your headphones.
Yeah, it's on.
Is it on?
Yeah,
is
it
it?
turned on. You
How's it
literally
look?
got me pouring my drink. First thing.
All right. Actually, my headphones are good. How's that sound, Gino?
That's good.
Eric, how's that sound in your ears?
Yeah, it sounds real good.
Josh, how you doing over there, buddy?
It's good. It's pretty loud.
Is it loud? You want?
Oh yeah, it's real.
How's that?
That's better.
Better, right there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? I guess we got that going. We got the stream going. We got Josh Hill. We got you guys. I'm gonna hit this button right here, and then the magic should happen. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the studio, guys. I appreciate you bringing the whole. Is this the entire shift?
No.
No.
No, there were two more
Two more.
that were there that day.
Okay. So all of you guys were actually on duty the day we're gonna get into, right?
Yes.
And Gino, before we get too far into it, I'm actually gonna read the citation, because it will give us some context to the stories you guys are gonna tell. So I'm sure you guys probably have heard this a million times, but bear with me, all right? All right, so it says that Gino and his guys, upon arrival, crews encountered a working fire in a commercial occupancy with smoke showing as interior operations began. And Gino, am I saying this right, Casciola?
Yeah.
I nailed it?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. Casciola was assigned to the entry point to assist with advancing hose lines during suppression efforts. I hit a button. Sorry, guys. During suppression efforts, conditions.
You look like my dad with the phone right now.
I feel like it. Like this is the first time I'm taking these glasses for a ride too. So during suppression efforts, conditions rapidly deteriorated after fire extended into concealed void space above operating crews. Heavy fire, extreme heat, and zero visibility forced firefighters to the floor as they attempted to locate an exit. And evacuation was ordered. Upon the order to evacuate, Casciola maintained his position at the threshold of the structure where he was met with zero visibility conditions and extreme thermal stress. He initially facilitated the egress of 3 interior members who were disoriented. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I'm gonna leave that right here because I want to get the rest of the story from you guys and the crew. But that's the beginning of your citation. So now, when did this come in? When we're talking about that actual fire, was this overnight, during the day?
It was in the morning.
It was in the morning. So like
What's
first
the morning?
thing.
So no, to give a little backstory and some context to the whole thing, that morning we had officer development training. So all crews, 2 engine companies and the ladder company had met at our Southside station. So we're all there with the chief, the deputy chief, and all the off-duty lieutenants were there. So at about 10:30, we get the call for the report of a structure fire. So we're all at the same place, all going at the same time, trying to beat each other out the door. Going there, we noticed in the notes it was our local smoke shop where we get cigars from that was on fire. In the notes, it said that there was some cardboard on fire next to the wood stove. So the store had removed all traditional heating elements from it, and they just burned wood in a wood stove.
Hell yeah.
Heat, right? They had the gas shut off to the building. So we're going there, and I remember reading the notes and thinking to my crew, I'm like, hey, this is probably just a pump can fire, right? As soon as we turned the corner from Addison Road to Lake Street, there was a heavy cloud of smoke covering the entire roadway. I'm like, no, we got a good worker here. So engine 71 pulled up front and turned the corner, took their own hydrant, and started stretching a pre-connect. The ladder took the front of the building, and then my engine 73, pulled past to the second hydrant, and then our crew went up to support engine 71.
What kind of building is it?
So it's actually an old Long John Silver's building that was converted into the smoke shop. So it's a rather small building.
And for those listening, Long John Silver's used to be a fast food joint. Is that still around?
I don't know.
Very few of them.
Are they still around?
Very few.
Yeah. Well, they're a sponsor, aren't they?
They are now.
Anyway, so it's an old line. So it's like a throwaway type. I mean, those were lightweight, basically.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
It turned out not to be.
Oh, really?
Really.
Okay.
The construction on the outside is all cinder block, and then they had a wood truss, and they had a half story up top that was all their storage.
Okay.
That's always great.
Yeah.
That's all. Nothing bad ever happens in that configuration.
Right, or a wood stove for heating. I'm sure that's not, no one signed off on that one either.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
And no sprinklers.
No sprinklers. No,
Yeah.
the building was
So-
protected.
Eric, give us the hierarchy of all the guys sitting here right now. Like, how does this play out?
How does this play out? Ralph, over here to my right, he is the lieutenant on engine 71, first arriving. Louis was detailed to my engine during the meeting, so Louis was my back step. Gino was over on engine 71. Engine 71 is a fourth, and then I had a fourth guy, a second back step on my engine, and then each engine had their engineers who were busy with water supply.
Who's got the most time here, and who's got the least amount of time here?
Ralph has the most time, and I probably would have the least time.
Okay. So is that why you were basically like what we would call in the city like the second up guy? Are you just feeding hose from where you're supposed to be?
Yeah, we were actually heavy that day. Our minimums typically leave us at 3 on the engine, but we were heavy, and we had 4 on the engine that day. So I was just the 4th on the back step.
So if a guy was not there that day, you wouldn't be at the front door.
Correct. If I was off, it would have been a 3-man engine, and I would not have been there.
Okay. But if you're short a guy on that day, does that position still
Correct.
get filled? Or?
No. So we were heavy. There was actually nobody off that day. So we were at full staffing. So both engines had 4. The ladder had its full manning. So we had a full complement of people, which kind of worked out to our advantage.
Because if you didn't have a full complement, you don't leave a guy at the door, right?
We never would have had a doorman.
Yeah, which worked out in your favor, as this turned out, right?
That's the reason we're all here.
What was the date of this?
May 21st,
May
2025.
Now, so is it 2 different houses are going to this fire?
3.
Oh, so the whole town's going.
Whole town's going.
Okay.
Engine 73, engine 71, and ladder 72.
Okay.
And
Just so people understand like what Addison is like how big is Addison, to give perspective to other people listening.
We cover about 14 square miles, population of about 40,000. We run out of 3 fire stations. On all of our reported structure fires, we get auto aid coming in. So we had 2 more engines and another ladder and about a dozen more chiefs.
And what's a typical day in Addison? Like how many runs do you guys do? I mean, I imagine the ambos running all the time, right?
Yeah, they are.
We're almost 6,000.
6,000 a year.
Yeah. You guys are doing some work. Now, before this fire, when was the last time this shift had a fire?
You said before this fire?
Yeah, before May 21st. Had it been a while? You guys in a dry spell?
We go auto aid quite a bit everywhere around us.
Yeah. Like what's around you in Addison?
Elmhurst, Lombard, Villa Park, Wooddale, Bensonville, Itasca, and then Glenside is to our east, Bloomingdale.
Okay, I mean you guys do a good amount of work out in that area.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's nothing like the city here.
I mean, the city is the city, you know.
Yeah.
that's just a revolving door of nonsense. So,
Same thing, just a smaller scale.
yeah, you just have different borders, but it's the exact same thing. I mean, it's like Cicero. It's like a mini Cicero, huh?
It's all the same. I mean, yeah.
So so Louis, I heard you saying that you were on the ambulance the other day. So you still make the ambulance? You haven't gotten yourself bumped out yet?
Not as much anymore.
No?
We got a lot of new guys.
Nice.
Coming in, so.
Nice.
But your question before, I can't really recall the previous fire to that, but I know after the smoke shop fire, it was about a week for the next one. So it, it's like a hit or miss. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a little bit.
Okay, because
To get into.
we've had some people come in here and they're like, before whatever we're going to talk about, they're like, yeah, we hadn't had anything for a long time, and then all of a sudden some horrific thing happened to them. But you guys are just steady all the time, right?
Yeah.
Did you just say you guys are just steady?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The most recent one was last shift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't come up dry.
Well, because there are people who are listening who are like, I'm going to put my name over. They want to, see where the good departments are.
Yeah.
So people
Yeah,
are listening and being
we're
like,
in a bubble. We get some action.
okay,
We're
all
in a
right.
bubble in the city.
We dabble in a lot of things. We have like highway, industrial, residential.
The highways are the worst, aren't they?
Yeah, we get a bunch of accidents.
Those are
rollovers.
the worst.
I used to say I'd rather be in a fire than on the highway.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah, well,
You were talking about before May 21st?
Right.
How long you been on, Louis?
At Addison, I started in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go. And Gino, just so you guys all know, full disclosure, I was sending Gino a text and I called him Mario. I was like, hey, Mario, does the 27th still work for you? He was like, this is Gino. Yeah, that 27 works for me. I don't know if you're trying to get hold of Mario.
Was he offended or not? That's all you gotta.
No, that's a good name. it ends in a vowel, so it's acceptable. In the same vowel.
Yeah, right.
I was like, man, this guy's going to think I'm like some Italian racist or
Yeah,
something like
Italian
that.
racist. Actually, funny story. Gino, to me, I'm Italian, so I could say he's my stew nut. So stew nut in Italian is pretty much dumb idiot. So I actually, the morning of, prior to the fire, I got him a homemade shirt that said stew nut with the Italian gesture, the hand gesture. And I was going to give it to him that day. I ended up later on giving it to him, but he's our stew nut.
Thanks, Louis. I have no family listening.
Well, so you guys are starting your typical day. You guys met with the chief and everything like that. You guys were just off to a regular day on the 21st. Then the alarm comes in as just a structure fire.
Yeah, the report of a structure fire, yes.
And so, have you guys been to this building before? Was it something like, oh, not this place again, or was this something new for you guys?
No, they have no suppression system. They have no alarm system. It's our local smoke shop in town. So anytime we're
You
gonna
guys
go,
are familiar because that's where you guys go, right?
We go get cigars there, and then we'll go back and sit on the apron and smoke cigars. So we know the building. We've been in there a number of times.
Well, I'm trying to establish your familiarity, if that's a word,
Yes,
to this building because it comes into play, right?
very
Yes.
familiar with the building.
Okay, so-
one in the layout because it's a readily recognizable building, right? The old Long John Silver's. If you've ever seen one, you can't mistake it, right? The fast food chains all have their unique styles, and this one, you couldn't mistake it. You're like, oh, the smoke shop's an old Long John Silver's.
Yeah, you can tell some of these old franchise. You can tell when somebody's taken a Taco Bell and turned it into something else,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
You go past that building. Oh, that was a Taco Bell.
Pizza
Pizza
Hut's a
Hut.
giveaway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
Subway,
giveaway.
Old Hardee's.
Like a subway layout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody just repurposed an old Long John Silver.
Correct.
And honestly, John, I don't know if there's.
We
there's
gotta
still around.
find one.
That's
Yeah, because-
important.
In the
Yeah.
meantime, they burglar barred over all the windows on the outside except for the drive-through. Sheeted over everything on the outside except for one entry in the front, then one on the back.
So they sheeted with the burglar bars in between, like they sandwich the burglar bars between drywall.
Or they just walled off all
They
the
sandwiched
openings.
the siding where there was existing doors to like do renovations to block it from the outside. They
Okay.
had like a humidor in there that had the old exit of the Long John Silvers, but they covered over it, so there was only one way to get in.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
I bet it still smelled like a Long John Silver. I bet you don't get rid of that smell easily. I bet.
And then continually change the inside as far as their cabinetry and displays and stuff that they put on the inside.
Yeah.
And then a couch that was in the way.
And everything in there is flammable. The
Everything.
humidor is, wood.
Everything in there
is.
was meant to burn.
Yeah.
As Louis says, we were in the puff,
Yeah. Giant cigarette.
Yeah.
which is what it looked like
Well-
when we were turning the corner.
Well, and it's small enough where it doesn't require a sprinkler system, right? Like square footage wise, it's how they got around it and everything else.
Square footage and then just age it.
The age of bill. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't want to get too far into May 21st without asking you guys. So, Gino, how long have you been on?
full time, March 1st of 21.
Okay. And what made you, like, what made you go down in, like, the fire service? Like, did you have family on the job?
No family. First generation firefighter. I wanted something that was always different, something that was always new.
But it wasn't on your radar, like you weren't a kid and be like, when I grew up, this is what I want to get into?
It was between that and being a pilot. I did a flight lesson with a family friend, and it was awesome. It was a great experience, but I'm very fidgety, and I can't sit in one spot for too long. And
I thought it was eyesight.
I mean, flying a plane was awesome, but thinking about like down the line future, I mean, it's like worse than a cubicle. Like you're locked in the cockpit and you can't even like go anywhere for hours. So I'm like, this is not for me. So I went down the firefighting path.
Just by default because you couldn't sit in the cockpit for that long?
Absolutely. It sounds
Well,
real
there's
bad.
a couple guys on the city who have their pilot's license and they that's their side gig.
Yeah.
Is flying commercial.
Commercial for a side gig?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now the one guy just retired and he's flying full time. But
Yeah. Well, maybe.
there's still
Maybe
hope.
still
You
time.
take
There's still
some,
time.
some shorter
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe a private license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Vince, you know anybody over at Spirit? Maybe put in a word. That seems like.
Well, I think his services are needed here in Addison.
I think
As
so.
we will find out later in this. Louis, how about you? How long you been on?
A little over 10 years, about 11 years.
With Addison?
Yeah.
What were you doing before?
I was working part-time, my hometown, Glendale Heights at Glenside.
Oh, really?
And then,
Just bounce around part-time, just trying to land a full-time gig?
Yeah. And then, I was on the contract in North Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right by the O'Hare over there.
Yeah. We have a gym that's right behind there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, our gym is located literally right behind the fire station.
Okay.
There's a Mariano's back there
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Mario. Yeah, so I was up there and then got hired at Addison in 2015.
How'd you come into the career? Was this something you always wanted to do?
Well, my neighbor was a firefighter out in Glendale Heights where I grew up. And then his son, who's about my age, we're good friends, and he started getting into it, so that kind of led me in the path. I always saw the fire truck coming down the street and everything when I was a little kid. So it always sparked interest, and then once my buddy got into it, I kind of followed suit with it. But what Gino didn't tell you guys is that he actually grew up in Addison, so he's kind of a hometown boy there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get points on the test for living there?
Only when Gino takes the test.
Yeah, so
Oh, one of those, huh?
They had changed it that when I tested that you did get residency points, which
They changed it for you? Is it still in place now? Is it still in place now that Gino's
it
hired?
is still in place.
Okay.
And our recent member benefited.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's
So you
still
paved the
in
way.
place.
So you paved the way.
So we're starting to
Okay.
get things here. So
All right.
Yeah, so it changed, which put me number 1. I went from 2 to 1. Let's make that clear. People like to make it seem like I was like the last on the list. And then
Of course they do.
And,
Right,
and then I
right,
was
yeah,
on,
yeah.
I came up on the number 1, but no, I was second, and then I got to the number 1 spot on
Gotcha.
that list.
The guys will probably back off that in time, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
did the
so-
number 2 guy get hired at the same time you did?
He's still in the department with us. Yeah, he's
But he didn't have to wait much longer.
no, just two, we have a. I was March 1st. He was March 15th.
Oh,
So
okay.
2 weeks later.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
you pick vacation above them and everything else.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
That's right.
Nice.
I got the. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you hometown kid deserves it, honestly.
yeah, I mean, you should have, because he's got more skin in the game,
It's
right?
his- yeah, it's his neighbors.
Neighbors, family.
Or
I mean,
it could be his
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
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 All right. And what about the barn boss? What about you, Ralphie? Give
Who's
us a little
going
back-
Ralphie already? Is that from freaking the Christmas story?
No, did you see what they brought us?
No.
Little red breasts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we already dipping in there. So once you crack that, I think you can go to Ralphie and
Oh.
Louis. I mean, you come from Louis to Ralph, you gotta
It's whatever it costs me anyway.
All right.
you gotta keep it going.
It's all perfect.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I've got 18 years in Addison, 25 in total.
Where'd you start?
Volunteering in Cortland,
Where's that?
way out by DeKalb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, halfway to Iowa. From
And-
here.
And so, you wanted to get to a bigger department? Were you working where? Like, how did you go from Cortland to Addison? Because it seems like a long stretch there.
Good question. I was ironworking in the city here, and all around the area, wherever the job was, that's where we went. And just volunteering in Cortland, and it just sort of, one thing led to another, and next thing you knew, I was testing for fire departments.
While you were working as an iron worker?
Yeah.
Like,
Went to medic school, running jobs, and then medic school at night.
and now you're a lieutenant.
Yeah.
And how long have you been a lieutenant for?
Just over a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So on May 21st, it was still relatively new
6
for you.
months.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's badass.
6 months in.
Nice.
The bar got heavy real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
but
bugle
did
got
you
heavy.
did you work for some really good guys that like
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
helped bring you on?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had some help along the way.
Definitely.
Okay. Did you have some shitty people that
We all do.
also gave you?
You learn
Your own path?
You learn something from everybody.
Absolutely,
Learn
absolutely.
something from everybody.
And what about you, Eric? Tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll interview your mustache later.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
I was
right.
gonna comment on that. That's got to be one of the best that has been in here.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Ron Smiths. We had
Yeah.
we've had some doozies in here. That's definitely
Oh,
up.
from Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From-
that
from
was,
Training
that was
Seconds.
legendary.
That
This
one.
is right there, though. This is right there. Oh, you're welcome.
And,
Thank you for bringing that in here.
It's a cicada trap.
It is. I grew up in Aurora, and back when I grew up, all the police and fire had to live in town. They had the residency requirement. So my neighborhood had a lot of police officers in it. So I was influenced by that. I went to Western Illinois University, got my degree in law enforcement. And that was right around the 9/11, 2001 time.
You ever been to Panthers?
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, that's Eastern. I'm sorry.
No, not Panthers.
That's
the
it.
Purple Pride.
Purple Pride.
Purple
I
Pride.
get those mixed up. Get them mixed up all the time. All right,
What do
continue
you,
on.
when was this? In the 80s?
It wasn't. Enough about me.
Still going to
Back
this?
there.
Okay, back there.
So I graduated, and it was the same as when we started testing for fire. Right, police was no different. So you show up for 1 to 2 openings, right? 300 to 600 guys taking the test.
Yeah.
So I got on the list and waited and never got a call. So I kind of got discouraged. I was working at Pepsi. I got promoted a few times there, but while I was there, my buddy there was like, hey, why don't you come volunteer at the fire department down at Bristol Kendall, or get on part-time and do this stuff? Because like every other weekend he's coming in on a Monday and he's like, hey, we had a house fire, and we had, we had this car extrication, and it sounded great. I'm like, I always wanted to get into public service, and maybe the wrong side of it, right? And thank God he pulled me over to the right side, and then I started working there part-time, and then eventually ended up in Addison in 2010.
Now, you also, just like Ralph would, made a long journey to wind up in Addison.
I did.
Were you just throwing such a wide net that you just wound up in Addison, or were you trying to get to this area?
So I was throwing a wide net, but I don't want to say I was selective after a while, right? I wanted to get closer to home. I still was living down in Yorkville at the time, so I was commuting up to Prospect Heights. That drive was killing me, so I was trying to get somewhere closer, decent pay, decent benefits, and Addison definitely fit the bill. My brother's wife's family's from Addison, so I had a little bit of knowledge of the town, and just thought it was a good place to work. And when I got there, you know, everybody there was really, really good to me. So.
That's
Gino,
the
you can't watch
YouTube.
us live on YouTube,
Can
bro.
you see why I call him student?
Well, you was freaking me out because I'm like, that sounds like me.
Yeah, I was confused.
That's the YouTube.
Louis, wait, what were you doing?
But
before
Gino,
you
it's
got in
actually
fire
still
department?
going.
Yeah, I think my family was saying that it was frozen. That's what I was.
Oh.
Oh, what were you doing before
At
the
the-
fire
It's
department?
the
though?
same
Like
thing.
what
Before
was your-
Addison?
Yeah, before the fire department in general.
Before the fire department, shoot, I was a lifeguard. I was actually a shampoo boy at one point.
He was a world traveler.
I was-
A shampoo boy and a
yeah, I was a
lifeguard.
shampoo boy. Yeah, my sister was worked in a salon. I was a shampoo boy.
Okay.
An actual
Yeah.
shampoo boy.
Actual shampoo, like a Zohan. You know?
Oh yeah. It's,
Yeah?
It's frozen.
that was
I
brilliant.
just reset it. It should be
That
going.
was a good
Oh.
job.
But
Yeah.
do you get tips as a shampoo
Oh
boy?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you wear like an apron, and all the ladies just stuff your apron.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Bills, 20s, 100s.
And a lifeguard.
You got
too.
100?
Oh,
$100 for washing hair?
There's a technique behind it.
Look at that face.
Yeah.
How can you say
I don't think you were just
Thi-
washing
this
hair.
Was, this was a long time
Louis.
ago. I was a little bit better looking. No mustache either.
Yeah, that's a nice stash too. Let's say, but it's not the. I mean,
Right.
Oh yeah, that,
In
If
any
it-
other room, that's
Right.
going to dominate.
that thing grabbed my ass on the way in here.
Well, look at that
believe
thing.
it. I
It
believe it.
extends so far off the side. You were lucky that's all the only thing it grabbed.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. That thing
Yeah.
is.
It can't be regulation. They ever get on you about that?
Oh, that's a
They,
sore
they
subject.
do.
Yeah?
We finally won, but normally I have it curled and waxed.
Okay.
It's up pretty tight, but today's my
Just
day
let
off,
it
so I
down
just-
after
I just let
hours.
it go,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
After
Good.
hours.
We like that you're comfortable in here. Let your mustache down and just tell stories.
All right. Well, now that the mustache is down, let's revisit the 21st again, and then we'll get off track again. So you guys, you get toned out. You know exactly where this place is at. You turn the corner, and like Ralph said, like you guys could see, you guys are gonna go to work, right? When you turn that corner and you get a look at the building, like smoke is chugging out of this thing, right?
Yeah, those are almost my exact words. As we turned that corner, I turned around and looked at the guys in the back, looked at Gino and Kono, and said, "Hey, we're going to work."
Did you have a crew that you were like, oh, I'm gonna be good? Because I don't know, you only had 6 months on at the time. I don't know if you worked with some crews where you're like, man, I hope I don't get anything serious. Do you have a good group of guys with you that you were
I
like,
got promoted into the same shift I'd been working with.
oh,
So
okay.
the same guys I'd been working with and knew very well, and yeah, they're solid guys, absolutely solid guys.
So you were stoked. You had your good guys. You got a job right in front of you.
Yeah, didn't have to give too much direction at all. We to the point that Gino and Timmy had already figured out if the fire's on my curbside, I get the nozzle. If it's on the other side,
That's how you guys
you're
do it.
helping hose.
Well, it was
So
a
that's how
morning-
they did it.
It was a morning discussion, so Kono has seniority over me, and I'm like, hey man, how do you want to handle today? Because again, we typically don't have 4 guys on the
Typically don't
engine.
have the 4 on.
So I'm like, you want the knob? I'm like, tell me. Yeah, I'll give it to you if you want it. And he's like, whichever side the fire's on, that's will have it. So we had that cleared
Really,
in the morning of.
there's a lot of places that's not a conversation. The senior guy is just like, why even
Yeah, we're not
talking?
even talking about
Yeah,
this. This is
why are we
mine.
having this conversation?
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard it before, where a senior guy will give a guy a shot like that, like, "Hey, toss up, you got a chance at it." You know, I've
Yeah,
heard that
so-
before. That exact thing.
So it just so happened, like he said, we turned the corner onto Lake. Ralphie said, let's go to work. And he's like, get ready to go to work. We were sitting reverse because we were in our quint, right? We were in the quint.
Yeah, we're in the point.
And we were sitting. The jump seats were facing the rear, so I kind of like turned back, saw Lake Street covered in smoke, and I'm like fucking backing up in the thing. We made the turn onto was it Neva? Neva. We made the turn onto Neva, which put Kono on the knob. So on his side, so we already knew that he got it. I grabbed my tools, I masked up, and then by the time I got to the front door, they were masking up. Kono was like, flake out the rest of the line. Like, perfect. They started going interior, and I just kind of moved my way up right to that front door, and that's where I kind of stayed.
So your job from where you were was just to keep feeding line into that building, right? 'Cause
Well,
the line had gone in front of you?
the line had gone in front of me. It was like we talked about an old Long John Silver's. It wasn't very big. We've been in there before. I mean, I wasn't pushing in hose. I mean,
It was maybe 20 foot deep.
Oh, that's it?
that was it. It was
It's really.
When I first read the citation, I'm picturing like a big like warehouse type
It
deal.
felt like it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive it must have felt like that when you guys are in there. But I'm reading the citation, going, man, this guy went half a mile into this building, and now that you guys, I'm like, okay, now I understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And
on the way out, it felt like it.
yeah, I bet. So you watched. Now, Ralph, did you go in with the guys in front?
Yeah. So
You put
Tim-
him at the door.
So Kono Pasic was the nozzle guy. Eric and I were at the front door. We both took a look. Made the decision. Hey, we got cold smoke coming out. We can see where we're going. This is where we're going. We're just gonna run the line in and open it up, hit the fire, and that's exactly what we did. We made the decision we're gonna go do this, and we did.
So you guys were the first engine. What's the first truck doing? Did you guys even see the truck going?
Yeah, we saw the truck. It was directly behind. It was right in front of the business. It was right on Lake
It's
Street.
right on Lake Street.
We had made the turn from Lake Street. The engine 71 made the turn onto Neva, so we were off of Lake Street, but the ladder took the front, which was on Lake Street.
And now
They were
in
setting up.
Addison, would you guys? Does the truck just go right to the roof
Yeah.
for you
Yeah,
guys?
that's what they did. Yeah.
Okay.
They take the front, go to roof.
Okay, and then 70 was in front. You got the truck, and then you got 73.
73 is right behind.
Yeah, engine 73. So we pulled past and secured a second hydrant. So I left my engineer with the engine. I grabbed both my back steps and I said, grab hooks. We're gonna go support the first engine, right? So we're gonna go in. I know the truck's setting up to go to the roof. We're gonna go inside and we're gonna move hose and we're gonna start pulling, sealing, and finding out whatever we need to find out in there. So
And this wasn't a building where you guys would throw ladders from like your engine.
no, we're not gonna.
Not at all.
No. On this building there was nothing.
There's nothing to throw a ladder to.
There's nothing
Yeah.
to throw. It has a steeple on the top that the ladder kind of went up to and tried to vent up there. But no, we were going in just to support them and do a search. They had reported everyone out, but you know how those reports go, right? So we were coming in to support first engine and do a search.
So you got your 3 apparatus that are going to work right now. At any point, does a boss show up and ruin the whole thing for you guys?
He actually got there first, and he positioned behind the building, further north, up on Neva, further north of the engine. So he's got eyes on the back of the building, not the front. But like I said, we were at that meeting, so we had our chief, our fire chief, our deputy chief, all the off-duty battalion chiefs.
Second battalion.
Came there, so we had 2 battalion chiefs.
And
We were
Did you
chief
guys
heavy.
go over, hey, if anything happens, this is how I want it to play out?
On my crew, no. Well, I just knew that we were second engine, so we were water supply, and then we were going to support the first engine.
Okay.
It literally looked like a parade going to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a race
Yeah.
out the door, right? It was like, come on, we got to go. We got,
Yeah, that's
we're going to beat Ralph in.
It did not happen.
It did not happen.
But you guys were on a quint, you said? The first arriving rig was a quint?
It
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
It was
75-foot stick on it.
Oh, sorry. You call it an engine. They call it engine
It
70.
was
Yeah, we
running
call
as
it
an
an
engine.
Okay. So, but they don't use the aerial on it, or they do? Not.
If we
that's
need
not.
it.
Okay.
Well, because you guys had a truck behind you, right?
Right.
So
Right.
Yes.
Okay. What's the truck? The other truck is it straight
100,
stick or
100
is
foot.
it straight
Yeah,
stick?
107
Yeah.
foot straight.
Straight stick. Okay.
That's ladder 72.
All right.
The Quints at the time, I believe, were running as engines
Right.
Okay.
because we were getting engines. They just had it
All right. And Louis, you're on the second engine. You're okay.
Yeah, Louis was with me. He was
Okay.
doing my back steps.
Okay. So you got 2 heavy engines, 2 4-man engines.
Yeah.
And how many are on the truck?
3.
3 on the truck. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
two
And then who
back
else
to
is
back
coming
now.
in on the still?
We had a Wooddale engine, Itasca ladder, tower ladder.
Yep.
Elmhurst.
Elmhurst ladder.
Exactly who else came in, I'm not sure. Because we went to work and there was no one there. And when we came out,
People were there.
people
Oh, yeah.
people were there. There was still a lot of smoke.
Not to
and
get ahead of things, but did they end up
we
boxing
didn't
it?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
do a box.
Yeah.
They immediately made it a special, and then to a box.
Okay.
What made you guys go to a special?
A special just gives us station coverage.
Is that
extra
like a
engine
full
and
still?
ladder.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
a full still?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't go to a special, those houses are unmanned,
Right.
so there's no change of quarters.
Right. Right. So
automatically.
that brings a change of quarters in for us.
Okay. Because there's still runs going on while you guys are dealing with Long John Silver.
They had like 10 runs while we were dealing with this.
Really?
Yeah.
They went on 10 runs?
I think so. It was a
Yep.
run heavy day.
Hell yeah. Let them get those runs out of the way.
Right.
All right, so you guys are going to work, and where do things go bad? Where do things go bad here?
So we'll back it up a few steps, and I'll talk with Ralph here. Ralph and I met at the door, and we both had our thermal imagers. So we're looking, and we're scanning, and we have heavy smoke conditions, but I don't have a great heat signature.
Not like
So no heat, no great heat signature. We took a few steps in, and I had the guys I had Louis and everybody start checking the ceiling above us, right? So we're probing above to make sure the fire is not above us, because we don't
Is
have
it
a
lights out
great-
like right when you walk in?
It was lights out right when you walked in, 100%.
But no heat yet.
No heat.
Okay. So you can't see anything, but you're not feeling heat, so you know you're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to go in.
You're gonna have to go in.
We're gonna have to go in.
Okay.
So finally, I think Ralph and I took 2 or 3 steps in, and we determined that the fire was in the back of the building, back behind the drive-through area. So we started advancing that way to get to the fire. So Gino was at the door. I had Louis and a probie with me, and I'm telling him check the ceiling all the way through, and we're doing a quick search. And at that time, Ralph and the nozzleman advanced up forward.
Yes, we went as far as we could into the building. They have a counter that runs across from like the drive-through window all the way to the other window on the other side. That's pretty much as far as any customers or whatever can go. Everything else is blocked off.
You
So we
guys
came
aren't
up
getting
to-
any reports of this being occupied at this time, right?
No,
No.
they said everyone was out.
Everyone's out at that time.
Okay, so you're more worried about putting out the fire than like looking for victims or anything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And you still can't find it at this point.
So we got in far enough and kind of got a better angle to it, and you could see a little bit of. You had the heat signature from where it was at. So we opened up the line at that point, darkened it down. Conditions changed a little bit. From that, just from us getting a little bit of water on it, darkening it down. Then we had good communication from the ladder company wanting to know if we were ready for event. Like, absolutely, got a line on it. Go ahead, open this thing up.
So the truck was waiting to hear that you guys were actually ready,
Yeah.
and you guys were actually putting water on the fire before they started
Yeah.
even cutting holes, right?
Yes.
And to give the viewer some visual, you could basically stand up. There was no heat, but it was like thick white. Just think of cigarette smoke, just a lot of thick white smoke. You couldn't really see each other, but you can see the glow of your flashlight. It could penetrate the smoke a little.
So
bit.
it was white, not dark.
No, it was
That
a
came later.
plume of white, just
Yeah.
from the inside all the way to legs.
Did it start smelling like cigars
Yeah,
at
right.
this point?
It's not that weird.
Yeah.
So there's an immediate care center that's directly across the street from the smoke shop that they actually had to shut down because the smoke was getting pushed into their building, and they couldn't operate anymore to give some more visual.
Was that just a building, like the smoke from the building
Yeah,
And
well, because of the fire load that they had in there, it was hundreds.
from all that shit up in the
Yeah,
storage space,
yeah,
right?
Cartons of cigarettes, yeah.
Oh, really?
Tobacco, yeah.
butane lighters,
Oh shit.
yeah, it
All
was
the
just,
vape pens, everything. Everything was stored.
So all the
above
contents
the
were,
shore.
it was all the contents were burning at this point?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything above us.
Okay. Okay.
And we couldn't tell. We were trying to get, visual of what was above us, and we couldn't penetrate it at all.
Oh, this upper storage room was
Yeah.
was burning.
Right, there was a
Oh,
drop
okay.
ceiling, right? And
Okay.
we could pull
Yeah.
through the drop ceiling, but then they decked over that
Yeah.
whole half floor to make it storage.
Okay.
So it's solid decking. So Louis is reporting back, hey, I'm hitting something really hard. I'm not getting through when he's trying to check, and there's nothing above us, just hard decking.
Okay. That was the old roof, and they built like a storage, like a half.
No, so there was like a half story up there. So they took the attic space and,
Okay.
and cleared it out and just decked over it.
Okay.
It almost looks like a Cape Cod.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very.
Okay.
It looks pretty similar to a Cape Cod.
So it's not a full story. It's like a
Correct.
it's like a loft
Yeah,
type
like,
of
like a
thing.
half story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. And then was the flue from the wood stove ignited stuff up top? Is that what it? How it?
So the reports initially were that the cardboard was on fire. Cardboard was laid up against the wood burning stove.
Okay.
So that's what
Is that
initially-
frowned upon? Just for the listeners that maybe aren't in
I
the
would
fire.
say- I would say yes, that would be.
Definitely not advised.
Okay.
That's what initially got the place going.
Okay.
Was cardboard against
At
the wood
at the
burning
first
stove.
floor or on the
On the first floor.
Okay. Okay.
So at the first floor where the cardboard was stashed in between the wood stove and the wall, that wall was all exposed, which we found out later was all exposed, open stud, all the way into the attic.
Okay.
And then that there was no fire break,
Off to the
nothing from where it was. It was
Off
just
to the
literally
races.
up the wall and then through the attic and off to the races.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. It's good for our non-fire listeners to learn a little bit about safety. Like, don't store cardboard next to your wood stove.
Right.
And don't smoke.
Yeah, that too. There you go.
Well, I mean, we're trying to appeal to somebody who listens to this podcast, and B, somebody who's got a wood burning stove that they're still,
Right.
for those.
That's a big part of the demographic, I think, is a wood burning stove.
They are awesome.
Demographic.
He's right.
Yeah.
So that half story or that attic storage space, they had every time they get a shipment and their extra cartons of cigarettes were put up there.
Okay.
So there was a little really steep staircase up there. So it was packed so much so that when they finally opened the roof, directly below the joist was cartons of cigarettes packed in so tight they started throwing them
Right up to the
out
bottom of
the
that
vent hole,
cup.
right?
Oh, they
out
were
of-
pulling them out of the vent.
They were
hole.
pulling them out of the vent hole and throwing them out.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
imagine a carton of cigarettes. I don't know how many cartons come in a box, but it was boxes with cartons with packs,
Yeah.
right? And that was the whole
Filled.
upstairs. There was also a full pallet that they had just recently gotten of loose leaf pipe tobacco next to the counter where we were initiating that fire attack. And then behind the wall was all of their zips, their butane cartridges, all of their e-cigarettes. So we had a large butane load.
Were things
directly
like
behind the
popping as you guys were in that
Yes.
building?
Popping is an understatement.
counter. It got to that point.
It was-
we haven't gotten that far in the story.
Okay,
yet.
all right.
It
I don't
was-
want to
it
get
was
ahead of
loud.
ourselves.
It was very loud.
So you finally you get to the seat of fire. You realize what was going on upstairs, and you guys know that this thing, like, potentially could just go, and you guys are never going to be able to deal with this, right?
Well, we're okay. We didn't know that.
Not at all.
The ladder had said, "Are you guys ready for vent?" So I asked Ralph, "Are we ready?" He said, "Yeah, we have water on the fire." So I called to outside and said, "Vent." So they started taking windows on the outside, and they were working on the burglar bars.
On the first floor, they were taking out windows.
Yeah, so they did horizontal vent first.
Okay.
So we have windows on the what would be the delta side of the building. They vented those first. There was a back door that we didn't know was open, a man door, and as soon as they vented that, and these windows were behind the case, so we couldn't get to them. There was a glass case, and then there was a walkway behind that on both sides with the windows. So it's back by the drive-through areas where we're trying to put out the fire. They start venting the windows, and that's when things started to change. So as soon as they vented, I ran back up to the front door when I was checking, and I ran into Gino. And I'm like, who are you? Who is this? Because he couldn't see anything at that time. He's like, "It's me, Gino." I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm the door guy." I'm like, "All right, go back to the door." So Gino went back to the door, and I went back
I was at
towards
the door.
your-
You came up to me at the door, and I initially didn't even know it was you. I thought it was.
Yeah, you thought it was me.
I thought it was Ralphie, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that's what you told me to do. So that's what I was like. I'm just doing what you told me. You're like, cause you said when you went interior, you're like, stay at the door. And then you come back, you're like, stay at the door. I'm like, that's what you said 10 minutes ago. But it was I couldn't see anything. So I'm like, that's why I was confused with that. But it was him coming back. He's like, hey.
Did you not know where you were at that point? Because you weren't expecting to run into him.
No,
and
I
you
wa-
knew he was at the door.
Right. I was just going back around trying to find a window, right? Because I knew they were venting, and you couldn't see anything in there. So I was trying to find my crew, trying to find a window to see if they had vented it, and I ran into Gino, and that's when we had our little conversation.
Because
there.
they're still working
Get-
on the
Get
burglar
back
bars.
to the door.
They're still
Yeah,
working
still
on
working
burglar
on it.
bars. They haven't.
Because
they're
they
not
finally
horizontal.
ran into him, huh?
Yeah.
Because they weren't expecting to run into him because they were hidden, right? The burglar bars?
Oh, they were exposed on the outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But you couldn't see him from the inside because they just sheeted over him, right? Okay. I thought they, like, hid the burglar bars.
Oh, no, those were exposed from the outside. You could
Okay.
see them. So they went to work on those right away. Then taking the windows, opening the windows up as well.
And during this time, the line's hitting the seat of the fire.
Yeah, we've got a line on the fire.
So we thought.
So we thought.
So we
Yeah,
thought.
so we thought.
Okay.
And we didn't know it had already communicated up the back wall and was running free
Above
up
the
top
house.
above us.
Okay.
On
So you got
CC's
basically where it
temperature.
started in the initial area, but it's
Yeah.
already well.
But it's
beyond.
already well involved.
It was a rapid change as soon as they called for that horizontal ventilation.
Yeah.
From the door, it was like a chimney. I mean, the heat and the smoke changed.
Where did they vent first then? It was on the A side? Because you're
no, it was not.
because you're on the A side at
so
the door.
it was a bay glass window, right? Think of old Long John Silver's,
Yeah.
right? So you can see into the building. It was like a glass that had not self-vented yet. It was still intact, the glass.
Okay.
But they were Delta side,
Okay.
Delta, Bravo,
Delta. They were Delta side, and
Delta.
they vented 2 windows.
2 windows.
Okay.
It was not on the Alpha side.
So
Here's
them
the-
venting, they made things worse for you guys inside?
Oh, immediate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was rapid, explosive rapid change.
So if you had to do it all over again, you would tell those guys to not vent.
Yeah. So the fire that we were initially putting out, that they were, we were in between the vented window and the fire. So as soon as you heard that glass break, it was like a
So you're in between the way out for the fire.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So immediately that white smoke that you saw, that you were standing up, the flashlights penetrating, it just like within like a second or two, it was just like black.
Yeah, immediately turned like black
Heat.
velvet.
Yeah.
Heat. It's like you
So
wrap
it got
yourself
the
in
air.
black velvet.
It's
You can't
lacking
see
air.
anything.
Yeah.
So it was
And it kept
comfortable,
getting hotter
and then
hotter.
it got real shitty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all standing working.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no problem standing up.
And we all knew our orientation. Like we said, we've been there plenty of times. We knew our orientation. So
Okay.
then it went black.
All right, and the guys on the roof, are they trying to open up the roof though? But because the way that they made that storage, they're not going to vent anything through the roof, right? There's no
their
vertical
saws,
ventilation.
They were having trouble. Yeah.
They were having trouble, so they were using the gas saws, and the amount of smoke choked out the gas saws, so they just went back to just axes
Going
and
old
balls,
school, huh?
old school.
Hell yeah.
Open it up. It
Nice.
got bad enough that those guys got choked out. They couldn't see what they were doing, so they ended up.
Now, does Addison wear
back
their tanks to the roof?
Yeah,
They do? Is that pretty much your area most?
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of apartments that don't do it. You guys do that, right?
It's kind of like personal preference.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do, and we got new packs now. They're smaller. They're like the wireframes. They're like
Yeah.
we used to have. They were bigger. But on a peak roof, like if you're working the ridge, like guys don't want to wear on peak on 12 pitches. But flat roof side, I mean, I'm like just wear it on flat roof. Like there's no reason you could, you can't finish the cut. Like you're not doing anybody any favors.
Yeah.
I encourage you guys to wear it, but on a peak roof, I don't. Maybe I should take a hard line up, but guys are more worried about falling off into the gangway. I know city guys don't at all.
Yeah. It seems like a good idea until you're like having to go through it to get off the roof or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Go
I
through it
see
to
both.
get
I see
to
both
the
sides.
That's where I'm at too. It's hard to take a hard line on it sometimes.
Yeah.
Some things I could take a hard line.
If you
on.
guys had your choice, would you wear your packs to the roof?
Yeah.
That one,
Yeah.
yes. That, yeah.
Well, that one,
They-
yeah.
They had to go through it just to get to it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
thing
with
is
you.
like
Yeah.
all it takes is you going through that before you're a guy who wears his back to the roof
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
If you don't run into that, maybe you're a 50-50 guy, or maybe
Right.
you're a I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
So the guys are having trouble on the roof. The guys who vented on the first floor messed you guys up unintentionally, of course.
Unintentionally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unintentionally.
Because that was coordinated. There was
Yeah, it was
intentional.
coordinated
it wasn't.
attack.
It wasn't.
It's-
Like sometimes you hear these stories and it was just arbitrary. Someone just took the initiative to break things, right?
No, we
But this was-
called, Ralph and I had a conversation,
Yeah.
and then we called for vent.
Okay.
But
Yeah, because you think you're on the seat of the fire.
but you guys
and
already
that's when we call for vent. Okay.
you guys already have water on the fire. What made it so bad? Like how did things escalate that when you guys were already seemingly having you're getting a knock on the fire, right?
So there was a good wind coming straight through the rear. We're in a cinder block building, but also the fire load, and obviously this is all looking back at it, but tobacco and when tobacco is puffed, burns at 1750 to 1900 degrees. So we were basically inside a giant oven, and that water wasn't doing anything.
You guys couldn't knock that with you had one line in there?
Yeah, we had one line at that time, and a second line to the door as a backup. But
Yeah.
They were
Just
working
one
on the
side.
second line to the rear at the time.
But you-
This was all really early on in the.
I would imagine that you wouldn't think you'd need more than one line for a building that you guys have been in, and you guys all know that building,
yeah,
right?
not for what we thought we were going to do.
It looked like a one-line fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like a lot of smoke with no heat.
And in the
There was.
beginning, there was a
Oh, it
one-line
was.
fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys walked in, we were like, "Yeah, this is a one-line fire for sure."
Well, yeah, inch and 3/4. I mean, you're talking about what 180 gallons a minute. That's a lot. It should put out a lot. But
Right.
so they opened the rear too. So you got the
They
A
opened the
side
rear
open,
door, yeah.
the C side open, and the D side bay windows open. So now we got three ways.
And the front door.
So the front
the
door.
front
So
door
front door's open, back
ended
door's
up-
open, and a bay window's been taken out.
The bay window was not.
The bay window was never
Bay,
taken out.
yeah,
Oh,
the
so
bay
we
window
were
wasn't
over.
until we.
Oh,
till
okay.
everybody
Oh, I
else
thought
out.
that was the horizontal ventilation thing. It was
That
not.
was no. The
Okay.
bay
The
window
two
was in the front on the alpha side, where the front door was where I was.
Okay.
And then they horizontal ventilation on Delta, 2 on Delta, 1 on Charlie,
Door, man door.
man door on Charlie,
Okay. Okay.
and any on Bravo, one on.
One,
Believe
yeah,
it was
window on
the,
Bravo.
Maybe the
Okay.
The drive-through.
The
The
drive-through.
drive-through they opened up.
Okay.
They also had on the gable, they had like a window on the top of the gable.
Okay.
I don't think that was vented at the time.
All right. Now I'm picturing this thing. So it's can breathe now. It's got all the air in
It,
it.
can-
Yeah.
it's got
Yeah.
everything you
A
wanted.
ton of fire load.
Yeah.
Okay.
It got
Okay.
everything you wanted all at once.
And a good breeze too. You said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good 20-mile-an-hour breeze.
That's what did you guys in, huh?
It's wild how much that
Probably.
affects
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Even on a one-story building, like you think about it at these higher buildings, right? Wind-driven fires and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't think about it at a grade level building, but
Yeah,
it's
we had-
definitely still a factor.
It was early May, mid-May. So it wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. We had a little bit of a light rain and just enough of a breeze. Everything was hanging really low.
Mm-hmm.
And then just enough of a breeze pushing through that once it vent limited and it got everything it wanted to, it just rapidly changed on us when we thought we were at the seat of the fire, clearly.
So take us to the point where they decide to pull everybody out. Who made that decision?
Eric and I made the decision inside that as soon as we had that rapid change, we're like, we got to go, get them out. So we had that conversation, and then immediately as we were having that conversation at the same time, the chiefs on the outside were like, pull them out. That's when the emergency traffic pulled us out and hit all the horns.
I
And
want
we
to
were
hear
already
what.
dropped. We, like Eric said, we went from standing to kneeling. So yeah, the heat pushed us down. So we went from standing to kneeling, and then as low on the ground as you could possibly get. It kept getting hotter, and made that turn to push out. Give me that 180 turn to head out, and just an immense wall of heat hit us. It was like, oh, we're fucked.
Are you guys in a spot where you can't orient yourself? You can't touch a wall or anything like that? Are you guys? in the middle of this structure?
Yeah, my nozzleman and I were in the middle of the structure, standing right next to Eric. Or we initially standing next to Eric, then we got pushed to the floor. And then Eric, you know where your guys were more than I do.
So we were kind of all in a cluster there by the nozzle. When things changed, it got really hot, and we all got down to our knees. We were all within probably arms. We were probably all within arm's reach because I had just gone back and seen Gino when that vent occurred, right? So I followed the hose line to get back in. So when we got back up there, I ended up, when it pushed us down, on top of the hose line. So after Ralph and I were like, "It's hot, let's go," that was the whole conversation. So I started grabbing guys by the shoulder. I said, "Here's the hose line, go that way. Here's the hose line, go that way. Here's the hose line, go that way." So I counted 3. I grabbed number 4. I said, "Here's the hose line, go that way." And it's me, Ralph. I'm going last. I said, "Well, it's your fire. You go last." So I follow the hose line out, and as I'm following the line, all of a sudden somebody grabs both my shoulder straps and throws me out of the building. And then I get outside, and I still can't find my crew because there's so much smoke.
So you didn't know it was your guys that you were putting on the hose line?
I knew that it was my guys, but once I got out of the building, I couldn't locate anyone else to see who else was out because there was still so much smoke. We had to go all the way out to the street.
Who was it that
and
grabbed
get
you?
in the street.
That was
Gino.
okay. So that was one of the people that.
That was the doorman.
Who-
So we made it close enough to the door that he was just in there pulling people out.
Yeah, so when they talked about exiting, they had that communication. It was right at the same time as command ordered the evacuation. So the order to evacuate was called. They were coming out already, so I was kind of looking for them. I was kind of trying to get as low as possible at the door, and I kind of saw the chevron of their coats, and that's when I wasn't that far in. I was in the building, but my feet were at the threshold of the door, where I knew exactly where I was. So as soon as I saw these guys, like I said, grabbed them by the shoulders and I just kind of yanked them out. Just kind of guided them out.
So when I get to the curb, I find the nozzleman and my probie. And I asked them where the other guys were.
Right. So people came out. The first group was Eric, the nozzleman, and then the probie. So, which immediately I knew that companies now have been split. Interior, like they didn't go together. They went in together. Now they're coming out mixed.
So now you have a suspicion that you could be missing guys, right?
Well, I knew.
'Cause you guys aren't par right now, right?
Correct.
No,
Yeah,
we
no,
are not.
I knew right away that they were not out. So I ran right back up to the door.
We did a face to face. He's like, Ralph and Louie are still inside, and I'm like, fuck. Because at this time, conditions have changed. It's no longer light smoke. It's dark, black, turbulent smoke.
Like you're just sitting in a chimney.
Correct. I mean, it was just blowing right at the front door.
So why were you guys still in there?
Didn't know where out was.
You were actively trying to get out?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Were you in the same boat?
Actively trying to get out and make sure
'Cause
everybody.
the guy with the line went out ahead of you, so you.
Yeah, he had the nozzle. He turned around and headed.
Did he leave the line in there, or did he?
He took the nozzle with him.
Oh, really?
He took the nozzle with him. So.
So you guys legitimately were fucked. Because you didn't have the line.
Well, I believe he started taking the line with him from where he was trying to fight the fire, and then left
then
it
dropped
in
it.
there.
Oh,
he
dropped
didn't
Yeah,
bring it out.
He didn't take the whole nozzle of the line out completely. No,
Yeah.
he turned with it and then dropped it, like Louis said. And,
Oh, so
and
that's how you guys lost the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was, like Eric said, I was last guy in. I was like, make sure everybody get out, go, and then
Did you know Louis was with you?
I did not.
Oh, so you both were on your own at this point.
Lou was over a little bit further to, what I believe was my left, which was the east side of the building, and working his way out. So he had a pike pole he was popping ceiling as he went in, And then as I don't know how or why, I knew the door was over there and that's where I had to go. But I kept running into shit as I was trying to get out. And then I felt somebody come across in front of me and grab and push, kind of redirect and push back, and then he was gone. Oh, shit. Where the hell did he go?
So-
and then a moment later, Gino grabbed me. I had no idea who, just arms reach in and he grabbed. It was so dark. He's at the door and it was so dark you couldn't even see light from the door. I had no idea.
You were just feet away from the door at this point.
At that time, I was just feet away from the
But
door.
you might as well been in the center of this whole building.
It felt like I crawled probably about 3-4 blocks.
Yeah.
At about 20 feet.
But the guy you ran into presumably was Louis.
Was Louis,
Who you
yeah.
ran into, and there you're both trying to find your way out.
It was
Yeah.
Eric's mustache grabbing his ass.
I love that. Right when you're getting into something, and like a guy like inserts something like that. Yeah, when stuff's getting real serious.
Well,
Okay. So what about the line? So the line is not even in a point of reference anymore, right?
That wasn't in a point of reference.
Water was not being flowed.
Right. I assume that, but it wasn't there even to orient yourself. You couldn't even.
It
Right.
was in the building still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys had no idea where it went.
I eventually found it.
And that
Didn't help out much.
really?
Yeah.
So when the conditions went really shitty, and now you're seemingly alone, are you like, have you started to hit panic mode yet?
No, not yet.
And are you trying to find a wall? Are you trying to find anything to orient yourself?
So the glass broke, changed instantly. I still had my orientation of where I was because I've been there plenty of times. But if you can imagine, you walk in this building, you have like almost like a makeshift aisle. You got like the ATM, then like the lotto machine right at the entrance. So you have to walk past that. Then you got like a sitting area where you can smoke your hookah or cigars or whatever it may be. And it's got tables and chairs and long couches and everything like that. Then you have display cases throughout. So you have, the vape pens, the butane, little cartridges, and everything and then just everything's kind of blocked off by long display countertops throughout.
You just keep running into that. That's probably what you kept running
I kept
into
running
too,
into
right?
shit. It's like every time I tried to move forward, I was hitting something else.
Yeah.
And all kinds of the butane torches, the gas.
Here, before
the
we go,
cylinders and
before we
shit.
go on, I see a bunch of empty glasses here. So let's address that before we go further on, because you guys are stressing me out already. You guys, I'm far removed from this story, and you guys are.
Are you on break?
No, we're gonna keep going, but I think we're gonna need some more go juice for the rest of the
Sounds like a
story.
good plan.
Anybody want anything out of the fridge, beer or anything?
One rice, good one. Don't ruin
Just
it.
one?
Just one, yeah, one's good.
Alright. You guys need any ice?
Stuff is so good.
Say one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do this one.
Which one you want?
What do you got in your hand?
See, Josh, you gotta drink more.
Oh, you gotta try
Doing
this,
that
Josh.
75 hard. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's a better one for firefighters, right? It's called 75 soft.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
It
interested.
fits our schedule better.
I'm interested.
It still allows you to drink.
Call those
Oh,
out.
really?
Still do everything else.
Okay.
Oh.
You just don't do the 2 workouts while you're on shift. You do your cardio while you're on shift. You do your weights and cardio while you're off shift. But otherwise, it's meant to build consistency.
I like
Yeah.
Ralph's. I
and
like
continually
Ralph's
reset
program.
yourself
Well, 'cause you can still drink it.
everything's
Well,
getting
yeah.
beat up.
Yeah.
You just have
That was hard to
keep-
get them in. I mean, 'cause I just finished 75 days. I'm on like 78
Oh.
because I didn't want to like stop. But it's yeah, that's the hardest part when you're busy and you gotta
Right.
get the 2 in.
And then you go back, you restart again. You never get to finish, and you're always starting again.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah, 'cause you do lift assists all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for the pour.
Yeah, and
thank
speaking of lift assist, so Louis and Ralph are both stranded. It's shitty. They're alone. Louis got a pike pole that's not hitting a single thing. He's on an island. He keeps zipping past.
I'm
keeps
waiting for the lift assist tie-in. Is the lift assist tie-in coming, or are we abandoning?
It will, because it's going to
Okay.
be the most pivotal part of the story.
Okay.
Okay? Louis keeps zipping by Ralph.
That's a little bit what I'm picturing.
Right? Every time he gets
Like
he
Pac-Man.
That's what I'm kind of picturing.
he thinks he's found somebody or somebody's going to help him out, he goes zipping by. And he's like, what the hell was that? This whole time it was Louis trying to find his way out. So you guys now that in retrospect, you're looking back, you guys know where you are in the building. Like, how far really are you to the door? Because you guys can't be that far from the door, right? Where you guys were completely stranded.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I was maybe 20 feet away from the door.
20 feet? No
Yeah.
shit. And you know what, like, we had Ron Smith in here, speaking of mustaches, and he was feet away from the door too. He wound up underneath the table, and he just kind of just was content with just saying, he was told himself, I'm just gonna die here. And then something changed, and he went for one last push to get himself out, and he winds up being 10 feet away from the door. And you guys are 20 feet, and that's how shitty it is in there. Yeah, you guys can't, doors right there, you guys can't even see the daylight coming out, because we're still in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Still 10
11:30
o'clock
or
hour.
something,
so you guys should, in theory, be able to see from that distance your way out, even if especially if you're down on the ground at that point.
Damn near army crawling.
Yeah.
So
So
when the windows broke, I still had my orientation in the building, and you could see the fire starting rolling from the corner where they were trying to hit it, and it was rolling real quick. But I was right next to some display case, and I had like all those butane cartridges, and those were just going off, just exploding. It was like
and you said that exploding was an understatement. So what was it like?
popping was an understatement.
Yeah,
There was like gunshots like right next to you, and you couldn't really hear anything. I mean, you could hear the radio traffic for like them to sound the horns. You could not hear the horns from the inside.
You couldn't hear any of that.
You could not hear it.
No,
No.
So much noise on the inside with everything going on.
Shells falling.
Yeah, I was like in the threshold of the door, so I was hearing everything outside and everything inside. So for me, I couldn't hear. It was just a scene. I couldn't hear nothing. No radio traffic, nothing.
Gino later said he was at the door, he was slamming the tool on the ground and yelling for us, and we couldn't hear.
I had my Halligan, and Louis mentioned the ATM that was next to the door. I was whacking it as hard as I could, and I mean, I was right next to it, and I couldn't even hear the echo.
Oh shit.
I mean, I was screaming, and I knew that, like, it's kind of weird. It's like I knew my voice wasn't being heard. Like, I'm like, it was just no use.
Because the smoke was so thick, huh? It was just insulating everything.
The smoke was so thick. The air horns were being blared. The butane cans were going off. The glass shelves from their stock, or like their hookah things, they were crashing. The display cases they were falling onto the glass. I mean, it was just so many things.
Everything was.
Did
just
you guys
collapsing.
realize at some point that was just Louis trying to find his way out, just taking that pipe pole?
It probably was. Swinging that head. Swinging
It's
the
like a
pipe
bowl
around.
in a china shop.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Because that's what I'd be doing. I'd be swinging for the fences, trying to fucking find any way to get out.
Yep.
So yeah, all that noise was just Louis and a pike pole. That's all it took. Yeah, hell yeah. And then so you got ordered to evacuate, right? And these guys are still in there.
So we ordered. Yeah.
The funny story about Gino being told to evacuate.
Yeah.
They turned around
I have
and
a-
told him the Chiefs to pound sand.
I have a
Get
long
guys inside.
history of not listening. You can even ask my wife. I don't listen very well. The order to evacuate was called over the radios multiple times, and then the deputy chief was on scene, face to face with me, telling me to evacuate the building.
Did you tell him at that point you still have guys inside?
Yes.
And he still told you to.
No. At that moment, he did not know that guys were still inside. So he asked me, who's still inside? And I said, everyone. Because this was before the three guys, the first group came out.
Okay, so before, even when Eric was, before he came out, that's when they told you guys to evacuate?
Like I said, they were saying it was like the same time the order to evacuate was called from command that they were working to get out.
So he said, get everybody out, who's in there, and you said everybody, and then
Yeah.
what does he say, what does he tell you after that?
I don't remember.
But he wasn't, his thought wasn't to make sure these guys get out.
I don't know. He didn't think that he didn't think there were guys inside.
Okay. He just didn't,
He didn't.
he didn't know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. Yeah,
Okay.
He didn't know we were still inside.
But you're the guy at the door.
So I
If
had-
anybody would know, it'd be you.
I had accountability. I knew who was in there. I knew there were 5 guys in, and I knew there were Addison guys. So I knew that who was in there, because 2 of them came off the rig that I was on, and then I knew when those 3 guys, because I was like crouched at the door. They're like, hey, move along to the side. We're going in. So then I knew who they were. I knew it was Eric, Louis, and then Pat. So I knew who was inside. So when they came out mismatched, I'm like, oh fuck.
Was there any thought, is eventually somebody has writ, right? Was there any thought in retrospect, because I know you guys wouldn't have it, but in retrospect for them to send the writ team in after you?
It was so early on, I don't think RIT was there or established.
Because it would be one of your mutual aid guys, right?
Correct, yeah.
So this all happened, like from start to finish, how long would you say this thing had played out?
5, 10 minutes.
No
at
shit.
Absolute most, yeah.
I would
Absolute most.
Because we've been talking about it for an hour.
Right. Yeah, and this was.
So I don't think it paints the
Aggressive-
picture for everybody who's listening.
The aggressive attack, we went in, from the time that we got there to the time that we were out, I used not even a half bottle,
No shit.
even crawling and, talking
Yeah.
to myself and apparently on the radio too.
mutual aid companies weren't even on the scene yet.
No shit.
It was
So
quick.
it was
very
a
quick.
rapid change.
Okay. And they were due on the still. They were due when it was dispatched. They were
Yeah,
dispatched when you guys were dispatched.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
they still weren't even there yet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this was very early on into this.
Okay. Okay.
So 5 minutes in, it's already to the point where you got guys lost inside.
Correct.
So Eric and his guys come out. You still have 2 in there.
Well, not all of his guys were not all out.
He's one of your guys.
He was one of the guys.
Yeah, okay.
3 guys came out. One of them was not his guys. It was
But
My guy.
three
His
out of
guys.
3 out of the 5 that went in, right?
correct.
Yeah.
3 came out first.
3
then-
came out in a row, right? And then I met the other 2 on the street, and then went back up and met with Gino.
But the fact that you guys were all mismatched is what gave him the suspicion that we're still short
Who's
guys.
lost?
Yeah.
Not only that, I knew that something was not good. I mean, like it wasn't. I mean, obviously I saw the conditions change, but like I knew that they were disoriented because the companies were not par.
Yeah.
Like he came out with an engine 71 guy and one engine 73 guy and himself.
So at what point do you make the decision to go in and try to find these guys? Because you really are risking you getting lost in there too, right? Because the line's out. You're going in there blind, hoping to find these guys, right?
Right. So from the time Eric and his guys came out, I would say what, minute and a half, 2, they were still in.
Maybe a minute, because I ran out to the street, found those other 2 guys, and met back up with you.
So
And I said, "Where's Ralph and Louie?" And you told me
Right.
they're still in there.
right.
So then you went back.
Did you know he was going to go back in?
No, we were having a conversation. I'm like, "Where are these guys? Did they come out?" Because it was the smoke was so thick, even outside of the building. It pushed down to street level. You could see nothing. So I went back up, had a face to face with Gino, and he's like, "They're still in there." And then he disappears.
Now, if you would have had the chance to have a conversation with him, what would you have told him? Would you have been like, go in there and get him?
No, I would have went as a plan with him. right? Not to go alone. We shouldn't really operate on our own. That's all of our training. So had I known he was just going to dart off into the smoke, I would have went with him. But all of a sudden he's gone, and he comes back. What I felt was instantaneously with Ralph, and he throws Ralph out the door, and Ralph came out crawling, smoldering.
Were you
Ralph
really
was-
feeling that heat, Ralph?
Ralph
when
was
you-
off
It was hot
gassing
as hell.
Yeah.
when he came out.
So,
I kept wiping my mask with the back of my hand because I couldn't see anything. I said, "What the hell? I can't see." Even when I wipe it, I can't see. I can normally
yeah.
see, and I get out. It was just because the heat had just completely destroyed the lens of my mask. It was just I couldn't see out of it.
No, it was that
Wow.
hot. No.
Holy shit. Wow.
So, but you still hadn't hit panic mode when you were being pulled out. You hadn't hit panic mode yet. You
I'd
thought-
say I probably hit panic mode because I keep my radio right in between the two top buttons on my gear, and I kept, no matter how low I got, my chin felt like it was on fire, and I was talking to myself on the way out apparently, and
You were keyed up?
I was keyed up, and I said, I'm not fucking getting out of here.
No shit.
And
That
apparently
came over
my
the radio.
engineer heard it, and the BC heard it, and it kind of changed the tones on the outside a little bit.
So you're the first one that Gino grabbed. So you were still. He was the fourth.
I was fourth.
Oh, really?
First one of the two. That
Of the-
were in there.
Of the last two.
Okay, so of you two,
Yeah.
he finds you first, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, I thought you found you first.
No.
No.
That's
No.
crazy. Like
Yeah. it
even you
just-
guys sit
it
here
was
right
so
now, like
shitty, we
yeah.
Still don't know.
That's
who
how.
came
That's
out
how
with
that. If there's any proof that it was that shitty, you guys are here today with each other, and you thought that it was still him that came out first.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So he grabs you when Gino grabbed you and was pulling you out, were you like, thank God? Or were you still like, what the fuck is going on still?
I got out. They stood up, and Eric talked to me first. And he's like, "How are you doing?" It's like, "I'm fine. Where the fuck is everybody?" And at that time, it's like, "What do you mean you're fine? You're smoking." Like, "I'm fine. Where is everybody?" And I heard a pass device go off. Like, "Oh fuck, somebody's still inside." So I had to put my shit back on, my mask back on, and turn around and go in. And when I walked away, I walked back towards the building because the line was still in the building. So there's a pass device going off. Somebody's down there still in the building. And when I went closer to the building, the pass device got further away. Like, oh, it's not inside, thank God. And it was somebody who dumped their pack
Did
off.
you guys ever think about setting off your pass alarm?
There literally wasn't even time. It felt like there wasn't
And
even time to
well, Gino
call it
couldn't
freaking
even hear
Mayday.
him smashing the ATM at the front door. Would you think you've been able to hear it? In retrospect, if you set it out.
I don't know. Hopefully.
I don't know if you talked to any of the guys that were in there, but I don't remember hearing any air horns even in the building.
Really?
Right. That was just the sound deadening. Probably one of the building, two of the smoke, and then three of all the fire load, the glass breaking, the butane exploding, all of that stuff made such a noise that I didn't hear Gino banging his tool. You didn't hear anything.
Couldn't hear anything. Not a thing.
Yeah.
Louis, do you remember like coming across him at all during that time?
Well, when the fire was rolling across the ceiling, I still had my orientation. And then the stuff started exploding. I got down real low, and when I looked up, there's fire everywhere. At that point, I had no idea where I was and where the exit was. At least when it started rolling, I knew it was that corner, and the exit was in the rear. But with all the explosions, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I was trying to find a hose line, and eventually I did. And when I was trying to follow it out, it got to almost like the wires right here. It's just like little, almost like spaghetti. It was kind of wrapped around a little bit. So I hopped off to a wall, and
The hose line was wrapped up like just
Yeah,
all
just kinda
tangled up?
A couple loops where.
kind of like what they do to you when you go to the academy. and
Yeah.
You try, you
Yeah.
go to
The maze.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was so hot, so I just decided to jump out and find a wall and take my chances with that. We had got the ticks on the MSA, so when I got to the wall, I tried turning on the tick, but I couldn't see anything, so the tick was useless. And at that point, I radioed, I need someone at the door, someone get to the door.
Did you hear that come over the radio?
Yes, I did hear that.
Okay. So now they know it's you, that you're in there and you need help, and you got this guy at the door. So
When he said that, both Ralph and Louis were still inside.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I was bumping into everything, you know, for it could have been couches, the split cases, whatever, and it kind of led me in a different direction, and yeah, eventually, at this point, I still wasn't really panicking. I was trying to, find my way out, and you were asking them when the point of panic was. Eventually, I couldn't see anything. The smoke was so black and heavy. I couldn't see any more fire. It was definitely getting hotter and hotter. And never had this happen before, but my kids' faces started flashing.
You know what? We've had
That was
other
panic.
people come in here and say the exact same thing.
So after that, I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck was that?" Yeah, I'm dying here. So
It was the FaceTime.
yeah, all the guys that I FaceTime my kids every freaking day.
Hell yeah.
It'll be
Well,
full of
we
wrestling.
had
Religiously.
we had a guy from Chicago, Bob Dodovich, who amazing fireman, and he fell through a roof, and the roof like turned into a ramp, and he slid down, and he was butted up against the wall, and he said that he saw, and he was sitting in that chair right there, telling me, as God is my witness, he's like, I have no reason to lie about this. He's like, I don't believe in any of this stuff, but he's like, I saw all my children and my wife in front of me on that wall. So you saying that, like, I 100%, like, this is an actual phenomenon, because other people have come into this podcast and said the exact same thing that you're saying right now. So I don't know where that comes from, but it's kind of freaky, right?
Yeah, it was indescribable. I can't.
But he said when that happened was right when they put the ladder down to him and it hit him in the head. So I don't know how long after you saw the faces of your family did the big guy come and grab you.
So I was, I saw all my kids' faces started just flashing it, and I couldn't see anything. So it was all black, and it was just like with their faces, and that was when I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna die in here. So I didn't give up. I kept trying to get out, and I was feeling with my left hand. I can remember, and then the faces weren't there anymore. It was just black, and it went from like the panic, and then just it's alright. You're just gonna die. Just let it be.
Really?
It's fine. And I still didn't give up. I was feeling, and all of a sudden I lose whatever wall I had, and at the same exact time I get this hand on my chest. And with how my mind was before, that hand, there was so much power behind it that it pulled me, and it felt like I was getting transferred to a different dimension.
No
It was
Literally.
indescribable. I can't describe it, but it was pulling me, and I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is what it is. And it was a good 20 feet before I saw like daylight. And I saw Gino. We got our names on our mask, so I saw Gino, and then I saw my deputy chief's face, and then out of exhaustion, I just dropped to my knees, and I look over to my right, and I see Ralph smoldering. And I'm assuming I'm doing the same thing, just smoldering, but it was, I can't even describe it, but it was
Ralph, did you feel the same hand of God?
Crazy thing is when all of us did our write-ups, I think all of us ended it and concluded with it was literally like the hand of God reached in and pulled us out.
So,
It was just crazy. I'm not a religious guy, but I'm not overly religious, but that is exactly what it felt like.
no shit.
So I think I told you I made the Stu Knot shirt.
Yeah.
With that hand. I was gonna make a new one with the hand up like this, taking me
Pulling
out.
you up.
That's good.
Nice. Ralph, did you ever get to that point that he just mentioned where you're just like, hey, this is just where it is? You know, you kind of like almost came to accept it a little bit that.
A little bit. Like I said,
Not that you were like, hey, that's it for me, I'm done, but like you're just like, oh shit, this is how it ends.
keep pushing towards
pushing.
the front, but I honestly I didn't think I was making it out. I think this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, I've heard that in a lot of stories here, right? I mean, you just said
Yeah.
the same thing, like
Hell yeah.
like even in mine, and like I remember that too.
But
Just
you
like,
you know
well,
what the
this is it.
common theme is that they didn't give up,
Mhm.
and you know everybody who found themselves in that similar situation, yeah, they got to that point where they're like, I'm done, and they're just accepting it. They're like, but I'm going to keep going, and it's that willingness to not give up is what eventually saved them. And I have a theory about why you and other people have seen their families, because I think, and this is just theory and it's based on no education about this whatsoever, but I think it's your brain kind of helping you not give up, like giving you one last push that, hey, we got to get going, we got to keep moving. That's what I think it is. Like you're subconsciously not giving up, and when you see your family, you're like, oh well, I gotta make it out of here. That's what I mean. Like I said, I'm not religious either, and it's based on no actual information, but it's got to be something like that, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Got me going.
And then the hand of God came down.
Yeah.
So, Gino, you denied every order to not go in there. You went right past Eric, and then you were just in there just sweeping around looking for guys.
Yeah, so my mentality, like we've been saying, we've been in there multiple times. It wasn't that big of a building, and my mentality is like, how fucking far could, like, where are they? Like, they can't be. I mean, it's all Long John Silver's. I mean, they can't be that deep into this thing, right? As soon as he said that, the time had, I mean, visually being there, it's hard to explain, but the turbulent smoke, the heavy, dense smoke, the heat was intense. I'm like, they don't got much time left, so let me just go take a look and see if I could find them. Initially, I walked in, I did not crawl. Shame on me, but I didn't.
You weren't feeling the heat like these guys were?
I was,
Yeah.
but I was like, I didn't care because I'm faster on my 2 feet than I am crawling. That's how I think of it. And I walked in and I kind of looked down, looked low, and I saw a flashlight. I think that was Ralph's either his helmet helmet light, or his stream light. Kind of saw a little glow. Looked down closer, and I'm like, oh, that's him. So I kind of grabbed him. And then, in my mind, I thought they were together. If that makes sense. I thought they were in the structure talking to each other, but talking to them after the fact, they were not together. So I went back. Well, actually, let me back up a second. When I entered in initially, the exit was blocked. So we talked earlier about how they had a lounge. They had a couch in the lounge that was blocking the exit. So from the time the first group came out till the time that I went in initially to get Ralph, the couch blocked the exit, which was kind of like a funnel, I want to say, because of the counter and the ATM.
Somebody ran into it on their way out and stuff.
I'm thinking the
No.
couch might have been Louis.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Louis, and I shoved him out of there.
No, it wasn't Louis. I remember that. I remember the couch.
Fuck
I remember
myself.
being a couch because I was like squeezing him. It's a couch. So I just shoved that out of the way, and I kind of found Ralph, pulled him out, and then I went in a second time, and I was just moving my hands. I had nothing else. I had my Halligan, but I left it at the door, and I just felt Louis. I think I like knocked his helmet, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Louis. So I just grabbed him by the chest, and I just dragged him out. I knew where, at that moment, I knew where I was located in the structure because I just had come from the door, so I kind of knew
You had
where
a
I
good
was.
idea.
I had a good idea.
How far in do you think it was?
I would say about 20 feet. Like I
Oh,
like
20 feet.
yeah.
That's easy to get turned around on your way. I mean, like
It's
if
just
you don't
enough
turn
to
around
get turned-
perfect
yeah.
180.
Yeah.
You're not, you know, like
You know, it's hard to explain.
yeah.
When you're not in there, just like spun around working, it's different from going in and coming out. You
Okay,
know what I'm saying?
that's fair. Okay.
Guys are in there working, they're doing searches, they're pulling down ceilings, they're turning around with zero visibility. I had zero visibility, but I kind of knew where my steps were. Like I'm 20 steps in, let me just turn around and head the same way.
Okay.
So I kind of knew where I was, you know. So, and then I just grabbed him grabbed him by the chest. I kind of had him in a weird, not like a traditional like how we train or anything. It was just kind of like I had him by the chest and by the shoulder straps, and just yanked him out.
And were you able to help?
He
like,
just
help with that?
manhandled
Like,
you, huh? He
Did he have to
man-
drag you, or was it just like a stern guiding?
I thought I was floating, so.
Yeah. Yanked you out of your boots, or yeah, okay.
Gino pulled us all out. It felt like I had just got ejected.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I put no effort into getting out of that building. As soon as I got close enough to the door, it was like a vacuum, right? Two hands grabbed me and threw me out the door. And it's probably the same for
Same
everybody else.
freaking, yeah, absolutely the
Oh,
same.
that's great.
So I was inside, next thing you know, I was outside, and there's light. What the hell's going on?
Oh, Gino, you like all that working out.
Yeah, well, that's funny you say that.
It is funny you see that. He loves the bread.
Yeah,
He
I
loves
love
the bread,
carbs.
he loves the pasta.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I love carbs.
Well, all the carbs paid off.
Carbs save lives, man.
Yeah.
Let's carbs save lives.
Um,
Semolina pasta
look at-
saves lives.
He's doing 75 carb.
There you go, 75
That's-
carbs.
everyone should get on it. It's real good.
If you want to be a
good.
rogue
Yeah.
fireman,
If you want.
get your carbs in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Something to
So-
it, man. Did you have the pike pole? Did you give up the pike pole?
Oh yeah.
You gave her the pike pole, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to move fast
Yeah.
with that. That's a cumbersome tool.
Yeah.
Well, when everybody's accounted for, like, this thing eventually burned down, or what happened? Like,
That's-
what
that's-
happened after you guys all came out?
We were there till 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah, engine 71 is the last one to leave. So we kind of, we got out, we regrouped, made sure everybody was good, and it literally, everything
Defensive ops.
happens so fast. I don't think command actually knew how close everything was because it happened so fast. We regrouped, went back to work, and we kind of just
Did
did
you guys
our
go
thing.
back in, or you just were like, fuck
No,
this, just
after
defensive?
we were out, everything went defensive.
Defensive.
We took the front window. It kind of made us laugh. We're like, hey, if this was a weed shop, none of us would feel as bad at all. We'd all actually be happy right now, but it wasn't. And one thing that made us laugh was everybody else would get the humor. Kono was hitting the front window, the big
Picture window.
the big picture window that thank God nobody took, otherwise it would have freaking lit up like a crazy, but it didn't. He couldn't. He was hitting with a wood pike pole, probably the oldest pike pole we have, and it snapped in half. And he just stood there like, what the fuck?
To hit that bay window?
Hit the bay window. He
Which-
was trying to take it with the.
Which
with
was a
the-
good omen, right? Because had he done that, you guys probably would have been.
Oh, this is after the fact.
This is
This is
after-
after,
Oh,
after the
okay,
fact, we were
okay.
all
That
outside.
freaking
Oh,
pike
all
pole
right.
probably had a year left to retirement.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys
A
didn't throw
wooden
that out,
pike
did
pole?
you?
Yeah, a wooden pike
No,
pole.
we still got it. We
Yeah.
We still, we have
Yeah, we're
these-
gonna hang that up out at that was 73's pike pole. So
Yeah, you
that
gotta
was us,
make a
yeah.
plaque out of that.
We're gonna put that up on the wall.
they'll-
Absolutely, that's
be
history.
Careful,
now.
they'll put it back in service. Like, oh, there's still 3 feet of that. There's
Yeah.
still
We
3
got a
feet.
couple short people that work with it.
Foot pike pole.
Tape it up and put it back on the roof.
Right. When
Yeah.
budget time comes for Addison, they'll be like, that pike bowl's still serviceable.
So did anybody have to get transported to the hospital or anything, or did they make you guys go, or what?
No, nobody was injured.
They
You
didn't
guys
make
just
you
went
guys
back
go
to
to the
work?
hospital?
No, none of
Even
us.
for-
None of us went back to work. They watched us. I found out later, well later, that they actually kind of watched us all sit around and work together, and there was no question. Like they're waiting to see are these guys going to start fighting with each other or not. And
Why would they think that?
I don't know. But the our guys did whatever Eric and I asked them to do, and we stayed in the fight, kept going, kept working, and just like literally just like nothing had really happened.
You just moved
Until
on and
after the
kept
few weeks.
working, huh?
We just moved on, kept working, and then.
I
What did you do
remember.
later?
I remember specifically right after I pulled Louis out when we had a par. Louis was like on his knees, just like 1,000 miles there, just slowly taking his gear off. And I said, "Are you good?" He didn't respond to me. I don't know if he even heard me, but like Ralphie said, we went right back to work. We got back on the nozzle. The nozzle that the hose line we used was the nozzle that was still interior. So we just like grabbed it and pulled it out. It came right out with a couple tugs. But after the fact, Louis like he like touched me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, thanks." And that was it. And I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome." And we just went right back to work. So.
It was kind of like you almost went back to work. It's like, all right, bitch, you didn't get us. Now it's our turn. So we just went back to work.
It's definitely on your mind the entirety of
Oh yeah.
working.
Who put Gino in for the award?
That was our Red Shift Lieutenant Jason Halstead.
Did you know he was going to do that?
No, I
He
did
did
not.
not.
I did not. So
Did you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
He talked to all you guys, and you guys were, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he took statements from all of us.
Yeah.
And corroborated them and then sent it in for the award.
So Addison put on for the first time, or since I've been there, they put on a gala awards ran by Addison for Addison Fire, and it was a great night. It was the first night that it was getting recognized, and after I got recognized by Addison, Lieutenant Halstead came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'm also putting you in for." By the way, I'm putting you in for the state. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, no. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, it already happened. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, so then like a week later, I'm going through my mail, and I have a letter from the state fire marshals, and I'm like, oh, well, I thought this was like.
Yeah.
something-
Your BOF expired.
Yeah.
You're Con Ed for hazmat.
Right,
and,
like, congratulations.
Target
you-
solutions.
That does fit Gino's MO, right? So if
Yeah.
he got a letter, he's probably like, what do I do now?
You know, I always say nothing ever good comes in the mail.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's always bills or like everything but good. But this was actually something that was good, and yeah. So I got that in the mail, and then I was like, holy shit. So.
And when your actual ceremony's in
It's
May,
coming
right?
up. Coming up, right?
It's coming up May 12th, down in Springfield.
Yeah. I mean, after hearing, and it's so amazing that you brought these guys. Gino, I'm so glad that you brought these guys because, you know, especially these two, they were in a rough spot when you
Yeah.
went and got them, and you were told not to go in there.
So yeah, it's funny you say that. So like I said, I have a long history of not listening, and my
In your 5
my
years?
five. Well, it's funny you say that.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
So hold on.
Those
So in
residency
5
You got a ways to go, buddy.
No, and my file's thick. You know, it's thick. So
2 C's.
I was I'm comfortable with the process. If that makes sense. You know
I
what
love
I'm saying?
it.
I
I
mean,
love it.
so you know, like I said, the deputy chief told me to exit the building, and I mean, like, I've been down this road before. What's the worst that's gonna happen? It was kind of my mentality. I remember specifically. I was in class for instructor 1, and Josh, you're from Cicero, right?
Correct.
All
Yeah.
right, so you know the guy I'm talking about, retired guy, teaches at Romeo.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah. So he was bragging about his, you know, what 20 something, maybe 30 years of service. He got 18 write-ups, and like not me.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years, double digits with paper. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna set records.
Oh, the best story is
Definitely.
his last lieutenant sent him to go get the letterhead for his own write-up, and he didn't even realize it. Then he's come back. He's like, "Here, oh, by the way, stick in the printer.
Yeah.
Sign this too, would you?"
Yeah.
If the statute, if it's okay, what's the funniest one? What's the one that?
Oh,
If it's
the
if you don't
funniest
mind.
one?
The football?
The football?
Now
Football.
something that can't get you
Oh.
jammed up further,
Oh,
or
no,
something
no,
that nobody was.
So,
The football.
we'll tell the football story. So I was
Fellas,
three.
let's-
So I was on. Yeah, give me some more.
Yeah.
I was on the contract in Addison for a year before I became full time. So the transition was from contract to full time. It was 2 days off. It was like not even a hitch. I knew the guys ready. The expectation was much higher than somebody coming off the street. Guy lived in town, you know what I'm saying? So the deputy chief now was my battalion at the time. He brought me in his office. He goes, "Hey, listen, you're gonna do fine. Everyone has their ace in the hole. Meaning you could fuck up just one time." So 3 months later, very short time later, we're lunchtime and we're playing football in the kitchen after lunch.
You must have a young house. This sounds like young guy house.
So
Okay.
No,
this
not-
was
no?
not long after I'm promoted, right?
Oh.
Gino's working for me, but I'm off on a Kelly that day. So
So you got an
Ironically-
acting officer.
No,
I remember they.
there's I don't know who
It was
Halstead.
Lieutenant Halstead.
Oh, yeah.
Put me in for the award. I remember it very vividly. We were redoing the study at Station 1. I'll get to that in a second. But we were playing football in the kitchen, throwing a wiffle football, one of those hard plastic footballs in the kitchen. It was donated by like a food basket from. This was like during COVID time, so food was getting donated all the time. And I throw the football at a fellow member, and I just terribly throw it, and it hits the Purvis dispatch monitor screen for DuPage County. Turns out that Addison doesn't even own those monitors, but they're from Purvis themselves, and they're like programmed specifically. Rabbit hole. It was not a good.
Oh, okay.
It was haha, you're an idiot.
And I bet you know how much it costs
Well,
now and everything else.
$1,000.
Okay.
$1,000. So,
it was
well,
a government TV.
government,
Oh, really?
It was a government TV. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's ETSB dispatch board.
Okay.
it was funny during the moment, like you're an idiot, until the next day happened when the entire shift got written up for something that I did, and it was just really bad. Halstead came out from the study in his tool belt because he was redoing it, and this was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And the next day, I had a meeting with the chief, deputy chief, battalion, and the lieutenant of my shift on one side of the table, and me on the other side, with them throwing my thick file down in front of me.
3 months on.
Well, it wasn't thick at the time.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Well, let's
It
say
was
this.
getting there.
It at least
It wasn't thin.
It
All
had
right,
weight.
let's
It
just
wasn't-
agree that it wasn't thin.
It was
still growing.
It was not empty. It was not
Okay.
empty in 3 months. Let's
Okay.
just say that. And well, I'm talking not write-ups. I'm talking like evaluations.
Okay.
And they're like, "What? You want to explain this?" And I'm like, "Fuck." I mean, like I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like I'm like, let me just go pack my bags now. But it turned out, I straightened out. But that was the football story. Right into the TV.
I think
Don't
that
recommend.
under the current circumstances, they should wipe your slate clean. You should get a mulligan
I'm
for
not
everything.
gonna-
We just use this to balance it. So now he's back to even.
Yeah, right.
Even.
Now we're
So-
starting over.
So after I got that licking with the 4 officers, the battalion told me to come to his office. He was like, All right, he goes, you just burned your ace in the hole. You got no more for 9 months, so keep it straight.
And you did.
And I did, and here we are.
Yeah.
So this is the best part about Gino, right? What do you call him?
Oh.
All the way down.
That's
Stunad.
Stunad. That's easier out. So Gino's our Stunad, right? But there's got to be a learning point to all of this, and it's discipline. Gino is a very disciplined firefighter, and he's learned through discipline about discipline, right? But if he had not been told to stay at the door, Gino stays at the door. Right? By Ralph, and then by our random happenstance, right? I come back, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm the door guy. I'm like, okay, stay at the door. And he stays at the door.
Right.
Firefighter discipline. How many guys have the discipline to fill their position, no matter how boring it is, right?
Right,
Because that's an extra job, right? Because he was the extra
Well,
guy.
not only
He's the
that,
extra
Eric,
guy,
but he chose to be excellent at it, and not just the rescue part.
Right.
Before that, he's
Before.
recognizing who's going in and who's coming out. This is a
Exactly.
mixed crew. This is that. Oh, those two guys maybe aren't working together because
100%.
they're on different companies.
Right.
Like all those things, I was blown away when I heard that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like,
Discipline.
taking notes basically,
Yeah.
mental notes.
Yes.
Who's coming in, who's coming out.
Gino's very disciplined.
So
It's
it's huge.
So Gino is still a young firefighter, but he's got the discipline to do the job and to do it very well enough.
Understand the importance of what you're doing. Understanding the importance of that position, no matter how
Trivial.
trivial it actually seems. It's
Sure.
probably the most important part.
Well, in the beginning of that fire, it was probably the most trivial job that you probably have at that fire at that time, right?
Right?
Yeah. That
I mean,
feels
it's-
like, oh
it's
shit,
It's
we get a
akin to
good
being
fire.
an
and I'm-
engineer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few minutes of getting water, and then what do?
Right.
So Gino's gonna push some hose in and then sit at the door.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not a glorious job until it is.
Yeah.
Right? And it's through firefighter discipline.
Yeah.
So for everybody out there, if you're a young firefighter, discipline is key to success. Gino has saved us through his discipline. So if there's one takeaway from all of this, I don't speak on anyone but my own behalf, but I think it's firefighter discipline. And knowing your role, being very good at it, and staying in your role as long as needed until the time comes for you to shine.
You know, you guys are being very modest. You know, I started my career, like I said, I came out right out of the academy, right out of medic school, and I started on the contract in Addison. I never had a different department job. Starting off, these guys were the ones who trained me, whether that was learning through paper or on the training ground. They're the ones who made me to be the fireman that I am today. So the thanks is to these guys putting in the work, not realizing that the guy who did the football at the monitor has some potential.
That's a cool part of it too,
You know,
because
these-
people recognize
you know,
talent and potential.
Yeah, so these guys recognized it, worked with me, trained me. The thanks is to them. So
Well,
we're just being modest.
I want to, Ralph, can you grab that microphone?
Sure.
Because I want to ask you guys the $1 million question. Do you believe in your heart of hearts that if Gino hadn't grabbed you, you were done for?
100%, absolutely.
You really, you
I-
100%
I
feel like
100%
had he
believe
not
that.
disobeyed the orders and
Yes.
come grab you, that you would have died in that fire?
Had he not stayed in his position and did exactly what we asked him to do, and what he knew he needed to do, that probably none of
For
us
you
would've-
personally though,
For
you
me personally, absolutely. I don't think I would have made it out. I could not see the daylight of anything until I was out, and it's because
yeah.
Gino grabbed me and pulled me out. And next thing I was in. It was hot as hell. You couldn't get away from it. And then next thing I was out.
What about you, Louis? Same question. You're like, I probably would have been all right. I appreciate it, but I probably would have. Where are you at with it, Lou?
Yeah, I know.
In your hearts of heart.
And we're gonna get a chair. We're gonna get a couple more sponsors, I think, and
Yeah,
then we're
we
gonna
need
get
a
a
chair
chair
sponsor.
next time.
Yeah.
More chair
Chairs.
for you.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry,
You're
Lou.
good. No, 100% same with as Ralph feels, I mean, you know, I felt that heat and not knowing my way out, I don't think I would have made it out. I don't think my kids would have had their dad. So yeah, Gino stepped up that day, got me home, and yeah.
Well, I mean, because you were the point where you had smashed everything you could possibly smash in there.
Yeah.
So there wasn't anything left to smash. And then the hand of God came down
Yeah, the hand of God.
and picked you up like a bouncer and then threw you out of that building, huh?
Yeah, but the funny thing is that yeah, obviously shift change. You know, everyone talks about what happened and everything like that. And it was multiple people telling me that they would have taken care of my wife while I was gone. So
I don't know what you're getting.
it's
Typical
nice,
stuff.
It's nice to know
God,
that
yeah.
my family is taken care of.
She would have been yeah, so the family would have been careful.
That should give you some comfort,
Yeah,
of
right.
course.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Addison.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's great.
Oh my God.
You guys are a credit to your department, I tell you what. You know, coming in, I mean, and this is just, you know, one shift, and, you know, I'm pretty impressed with the instincts from, you know, your officer instincts from you guys. I got to be the last guy out, you know, this type of stuff, and your discipline from even the, you know, a lower job on the fire ground and all along. I'm really impressed with you guys,
Yeah,
and
and
you
I
really
got-
are a credit to your department.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Ralph, that is something to be said for you wanting to be the last guy out of your crew. It says a lot about you, and I think we need more leaders like you who, I mean, because shit was shitty when you made that decision. Like, he's telling you to get out and be like, I go last. I think that's pretty amazing. So, well done, sir.
I think I don't know if it's the other thing, it's just.
That's who you are, right?
That's what I was trying.
Yeah.
That's how I was trying.
Absolutely, and that's
Good
why
people.
that's why you got
Like good people.
guys like Gino who are going to do the right thing in those circumstances. So I think it comes from the top down. So we need more guys like you at the helm there. You guys had mentioned that you guys had a probie this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Give me more about this guy, because was this it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
We'll
his.
give this one to Louis.
It wasn't his
Oh,
first fire,
this-
right?
This
wasn't
Louis,
his.
This is Louis' prodigy.
100% his first fight.
This was his first fire. You guys should have brought that motherfucker in here.
He's right down the street. Right?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, right down the street.
Yeah. So
Maybe a part two.
We'll get part two. I love this story, guys.
yeah. So Galloway, you know, he's your typical like
Surfer dude.
20-year-old kid, shaggy hair, looks like a wet
Good
dog.
looking. Hate
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Hate him already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's hair, right? We gotta hate him.
You know, dumb questions at the dinner table. You know, he's a good kid, but you know, he came out of that fire, and I think he asked you
He
like,
did.
later on. He's like, "Is that how it always is?"
And you said yes, right? Tell me you told him yeah.
Yeah, he came out and he's like, hey, is it always that hot? Is it always like, does it go bad that fast? And I'm like, no, man, that was not normal. that was not normal at all.
Should've
what
told-
you-
that
what
was
you
the
just
good one.
experienced
That was good.
was like a once in a career fire kind of event, and that did not go as planned, right? No, that was, but he didn't know any better. So
Yeah.
he's like, wow, is that how it goes? I'm like, no, man, that's not how it is.
He has no frame of reference.
He doesn't, but he does. He comes from a fire service family, so he's got older brothers in the fire service. I don't know his interaction with them, but yeah, he was awestruck by his first fire.
God damn. Imagine that being your first fire, Josh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
So was he with you or you?
He was my
Yeah,
guy.
That was your guy?
Eric and his crew. I'm with Louis.
Yeah.
Louis, Eric, and Pat.
One
And
thing
it was
we
Eric, Ralph and Conan on the first.
one thing we didn't talk about, it's kind of going through my mind. We had two guys. We had three. Louis was just back off of maternity leave. His wife just had a brand new baby. My Nazilman, Kono, he was exact same position, just right back after brand new baby. And then our probie, who'd never been in anything like that before. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. We just all freaking did it on a shit smoke shop for nothing.
So that was his first fire. Everything up until then has been theory, huh?
Yeah.
And Kono, is this guy Hawaiian?
No, no, Kono Pasek.
Oh,
we
okay.
just call him Kono.
Okay.
He'd be about the whitest Hawaiian you'd ever see.
He's gonna bitch at you. It's Kano Pasek.
Kono Pasek.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Kono
But
He's
you
like,
guys call him
"It's
Kono?
We call him Kono.
Yeah, we call him Kono.
He doesn't correct us anymore.
Right.
Okay, well, just to give you guys context about how much I'm into this story, usually we go an hour, we take a break, everybody takes a piss and do whatever, but we've gone straight through 2 hours. We've been sitting here 2 hours talking.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's
That
crazy.
is.
Like, I was so, like, hearing all you guys give your different accounts of the story, like, I feel like I'm right there with you guys. I mean, obviously I'm not, but I can picture this place in my head as you guys are telling the story. And none of it is good. What I'm picturing in my head, none of it is good. I'm happy and I'm excited for the story when you guys are able to stand around, you got white smoke and there's no heat. But when they open up those windows, I'm losing my shit. I'm like, how are you guys managing that? So I'm glad that we got to tell that whole story. I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that Gino was at the door for you guys. And if you guys are a perfect example how you guys did everything right, and you've heard the adage, you know, you're training for a job that if you do everything right, you can still get hurt.
Shit still goes bad.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example. You guys did everything by the book. I mean, more by the book than,
Oh yeah.
you know, the
Right.
most places do.
I'm
like
trying to think. I'm like, I don't know if we would have a guy that would be by the door. He'd be
by
off
the
doing this
door
that.
or not taking windows until
Right,
they're
right.
told that you guys got water on the fire. Just all the little things add up to at least give you guys a fighting chance. So you know, I just want to say thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. It was an amazing story. I'm glad all you guys are out, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the future. Anything else, Jess?
No, man, I'm blown away with these guys. It's a great story. I mean, what a great crew.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Two
Yeah.
hours straight through. I think that's the first
Love it.
time we've ever done that. But
Thanks
See,
for having
he could have
us.
been a pilot. See, a
He
2
could
hour
have been a
flight.
pilot.
He
He
sat
could have
here-
done it.
He sat here the whole time.
He
and
made
paid
it.
attention.
He made it.
He
He
made
made
It's like-
short haul.
Yeah, right. You could do here to Cincinnati or something.
Right, he could have
you
gone to
know?
Idaho.
Hire him that way.
Don't give up on it.
Potato. Starch, carbs.
All right.
Gotta love him.
So
Yeah.
we'll turn off the camera. We'll turn off the recording. We can really. I want to hear the real stories, boys. So,
Yeah.
but thank you guys so much for being on Chicago's Bravest Stories. I appreciate it, and we'll be in touch for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. So
Thank you.
any last words you want to pass it around? Any last thing you guys want to shout out? You guys say something to this probie and make him listen.
Oh.
Who, Galloway?
Galloway?
He's yours,
Who-
man.
Yeah, who better than you?
Actually,
It's your guy.
Galloway.
Oh, this is funny. It's good.
He had a date with my sister-in-law for the first time.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? You
Yeah.
could be related to this guy at some point?
This
Yeah.
Galloway wants to be. He loves Louis, and he wants to be.
He wants to be in the family.
He wants Louis so much that he wants to be in the family.
Your sister-in-law.
My sister-in-law, yeah. My wife's sister.
She hates
Is she
her.
hot?
Yeah, she's a very,
Has to.
very good-looking lady.
And you were okay with this?
I was okay with
Where are they going?
that. They had sushi earlier.
Out here?
Now out in Naperville.
Monday night date?
Yeah.
Hey man, you know
Hey,
this guy.
the heart wants what the
Oh,
heart
that's
wants.
true.
You know this guy.
That's true.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
The
Is she
hard
a
one.
nurse? Is she
She's
a
a
nurse or a
nurse.
teacher? Okay.
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse.
Well,
okay.
Josh has
Yeah.
statistics.
That
The,
checks
the,
out.
Yeah.
the stats play out, right?
That's number one. Nurse teacher.
Yeah.
Of any profession.
My wife's a nurse as well.
Yep, my too.
Yeah.
Yep.
My wife's a nurse practitioner.
There you go. Yeah, my
Nurse.
nurse.
Hairstylist.
Obviously.
She's in nursing school.
She's not a beard.
Yeah, it's-
therapist.
No,
It's
she hates
not
the
even
mustache.
close. It's the most common. And it's, you know, and number two is nurse or firefighter teacher.
Yeah.
And then it's police officer nurse. Then it's teacher. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you
It's
guys
all
are
crazy how it
just
sings.
playing it right into the stats.
We're all
Yeah.
the same
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
We are
Yeah.
all the same.
Same savages.
We're all the same. Isn't it funny? You feel like you could work a shift with these guys and you just go right in and like you feel like you already know the guys.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Hell yeah. Ralph, you got any last words?
I got
Anything
nothing.
you want to say to anybody? Eric?
No, I spoke my piece about discipline, right? Discipline is where we stay alive in the fire service.
Absolutely.
Message.
And man of the hour, what do you say, Gino?
Oh man. What I have to say is just know what you're doing. Have a good reason for what you did. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was comfortable with the process. I knew it was destined if push came to shove, but it didn't have to come that way. But just have something, be able to support what you did, and you'll be fine.
Actually, really quick before we sign off, Gino here is going to be throwing out the first pitch.
What?
June 5th.
Yeah.
Cubs versus Giants.
Cubs Giants, come
No
on
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
That's
right.
awesome.
Oh, he's.
Oh,
gonna-
we
he's
yes.
gonna-
Okay, we got to make an event out
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
for sure.
We better put a
Bleacher seats is what we're going for.
Purvis TV at the plate so you hit it. Otherwise, it's going straight into the
That's
ground.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Well, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
I can't thank you guys enough for coming in.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Josh.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
is what it is. Yeah, cheers. Appreciate it.